So we've come to an awareness this month that the structures in our life are to become strong enough that it can hold the cosmic energy. So without stealing our energy, every time a structure becomes strong within us, leverages energy so that we can deliver more of why we came to this planet. We come to a remembrance of our pre-birth choice, that which we said we were going to do before we got here. And so if you think that you're accident, that you're your parents' accident, think again. You are on purpose with a purpose, and because of the quantum reality of the past, present, and future happening simultaneously, you might have been the very reason why your parents got together that night anyway. Well, some of you was a nooner, but and so you may have orchestrated the whole thing to have a way to come into the planet. So you're not accidental. You're on purpose with the purpose from the presence of God Almighty, God all beauty, God all joy. So when we look at the structure of our life, we look at the body temple, and we allow for the body temple through right nutrition, through exercise, through all manner of ways to strengthen the temple, so that has nothing to do with vanity. It has something to do with you being able to carry more energy, and that the body temple is stabilized enough to not get in your way of delivering your gifts. That's stability, and that's the preparation for success. You look at your entrepreneurial skills, you're beginning to start businesses, entering into the workforce, looking for your ideal employment. All of that is to develop a sound structure of financial literacy, so that you become aware that the presence of God is your source and supply of every good and perfect thing, and that's your preparation for success. Having a lot of money isn't successful yet. It's the preparation for success, which is activation of potential, unfoldment of soul, delivery of gifts to change the world for the better. You see, you look at your relations. Ultimately, they're shot through with eternity, which is love, peace, joy, compassion, forgiveness, all of these wonderful qualities. You transcend the ego's picture of separation, always having to be right. You don't let the ego just run amok, you see. And ultimately, when that structure is stabilized, now you enter into the sexy part, which is collaboration, baby. Collaboration is the new sexy. It's the only place in which the second coming is going to happen. It's not going to happen through an individual. It's going to happen through communities coming together, being strong enough to hold the frequency of the emergent energy that's trying to happen on this planet. These are all ways by which we are preparing ourselves for success. So if you're not prepared in any of those areas, then you serve an apprenticeship to that area. You say, oh, your relationships are amok, you find someone that's a genius in that area. If finances aren't good, you find a genius in that area. Your body's out of shape, you find a genius in that area that allows for that structure to become strong enough that it can carry cosmic energy, so that the infinite wattage of the spirit is not trying to force itself into a 10-watt bulb. You know what I mean? You want to be strong, and this is why you meditate. This is why you pray. This is why you vision. This is why you enter into sacred service. This is why you chant, in order to have a level of coherence around the fundamental idea that you are one with God, predating religiosity, one with the Spirit, one with love, one with peace, one with joy. These are essences of the Spirit that never compromise, contradict themselves, always expressing, always being themselves. Now you're ready. Now you're ready. And then you'll hear something within you shout out, enough already. And what does that mean? First of all, it means that we are enough. You have to start your day in spiritual practice with the awareness that you're already enough. That nothing you're going to do in the world is going to bring more to you than you already are. It's just going to give you the opportunity to express who and what you are and whose and what you are. So you begin with the awareness, enough already. In other words, you're all ready to go, baby, because you're prepared and you are enough and you're all ready to go. Say, I'm enough. I have enough. There's enough all around me. Now, all of this is truisms, but you have to go to the well on a regular basis in order for memory to give way to mysticism, in order for that which you study and memorize to become a part of your life, that you're embodying it, you see? So that we're not here trying to intellectualize the spirit, we're trying to spiritualize the intellect. This is why you do your inner work. So that you're spiritualizing the inner work so that ultimately there's an embodiment of these sacred truths and that you're walking with an air of confidence and well-being and dynamic power because you know the presence of God intimately. It is your life closer than your breathing. As the Quran would say, nearer than your neck vein. There's something about you that is magnificent. Oh, just look to your neighbor and say, there's something about you that's magnificent. Look to your other neighbor and say, there's something about me that's magnificent. And I'm going to let it shine, baby. There you go. Give a little high five, a little tap, a little touch, a little tap. And so enough already begins with your day saying, I am enough, and therefore it ends up, you end up transcending, as we talked a little bit about last week, you transcend the ambition. Remember, ambition has the word ambi in it, like ambidextrous, which means you're moving in two directions at the same time. You're going for your goals, but you're afraid you're not going to get them. Or you're going for your goals, but you actually think that the attainment of the goal is going to give you something that you don't already have. So there's a level of resistance that's built into the program. And so when you establish the truth within yourself that you are enough already, then the moving forward of the unfoldment of your soul in any area of your life is not going to give you that enoughness. It's just going to give you the opportunity to express your enoughness. There's a fullness of overflowing spirit that starts to move through you, and it floods every area of your life. So many people are living life on the layaway plan, living a little bit today to hopefully be more happiness in the future. You see, no. Enough already. Enough already. And then there's a virus, you see, there's a virus of the mind. And the virus of the mind has you feeling separate from your good, and it has a litany of complaints. It has a litany of comparison and immature competition that runs through its mind. And you can hear it sometimes. And when you begin to hear it, then you use the phrase in order to break the hypnotic spell of the virus of the mind. When you hear it rumbling on about complaining about somebody or competing with somebody, comparing yourself to somebody, you say, enough already, shut up. You just say, enough already. I am enough already. And then you move through the awareness that you are enough, and then you begin to see something. You begin to see that there's a litany of negativity coming from that particular virus of separation that many times you have identified with and actually given voice to and actually allowed it to be the centerpiece of conversations with people. Oh, no, nasty. Oh, no, that's a wasted moment. So, okay, oh, Lord. And there are people who are caught up in that downward spiral of negativity. They don't know that they're basically producing toxic chemicals in the body temple, a veil of separation, a resistance to their good, lack of receptivity, and all the while the presence, which is never an absence, is trying to pour itself through each and every being, no respecter of persons, but total respecter of consciousness. And you can opt out of that. Just as you see things in your computer, things you buy, and you can say you can opt out anytime. Well, listen, we want you to opt out of the downward spiral of negativity. We want you to opt out of the sense of separation. We want you to opt out of the sense of scarcity. Opt out, baby, every single day. opt out. Say, I am enough. I didn't mean for you to really say it. I was just, but you're really good. Just say it again. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. And so we know now, mystically and quantumly, that we're living in a sea of abundance, that energy is never created or destroyed. This transmutes itself. We know that there's a field of such love and beauty and intelligence, abundance, harmonizing prosperity, elegance, all of this. And though we know this, there has to be a level of courting this on a regular basis so we don't just know it intellectually, that it becomes the very field by which we are walking in, through, and as. So that the very feeling tone of enoughness is carrying us vibrationally everywhere that we go. So when we hear the law as it's stated in one of the scriptures that says in substance, for he or she who has more is given, and he who has not, even that which they have shall be taken away. We don't take that personally. It's not like, ooh, that's negative. You know, they that get, got, and those that don't get, got. No. No, it's a law. It simply means if you are walking in the awareness of having, you walk in the awareness of being, you're walking in the confidence that you're surrounded by a universal presence that knows your name, meaning knows your nature. Name and nature mean the same thing. That knows your nature. Then he or she who's walking in that field, we're not talking materialism here, he or she who's walking in that dynamic field of oneness, a dynamic field of being, that dynamic field of having, more shall be given. Doors open up. Opportunities show up. The right people that you need to meet show up unexpectedly sometimes. Because you're in the field of he or she having. She or she having, more shall be given. But if you're walking down in the mouth, if you're walking with the virus, I don't have, and they don't like me, and I don't, why don't, he or she who has not that consciousness, then that which they have shall be taken away. You end up using the law in reverse. You see, it's called spiritual malpractice. You see, spiritual malpractice. That's what it's called. And you end up, you're using the law, but you're malpracticing. And then you're wondering, well, manifestation isn't occurring. You're wondering because you're working against yourself. You are driving your car with the brakes on, you see. Not you, not here, not now. No. There is a call to success, not materialism. There's a call to success, not stuff. There's a call to success. And that success is the activation of your unlimited, illimitable, infinite potential that lies within you. Everyone is given that. Every single being is given that. And the unfoldment of your soul carrying your infinite spirit, it's unfolding, but you get to participate in its unfoldment so that you can deliver your gift. You did not come here to walk lockstep in the status quo. You did not come here just to survive. You did not come here, particularly if you are here and now, and you had the opportunity, the wherewithal, the time, and everything to come to a center like this. You're not dodging landmines. You're not in a drought right now. You're not suffering as many of the individuals are suffering on the planet right now. Then you have a responsibility to participate in the unfoldment of your own soul because you can. Because you have the time, because you have the wherewithal, you have to not only do it for yourself, but you have to do it for the species, you see? You become the tip of the spear for the evolution of the species because you can do it, you see? But you're beginning with, I am enough. Say it. I'm enough. Enough already. Now consider parts of your life that are stagnant. Everything is energy, so I won't say diseased, I won't say there's this lack there. I'll just say there's this stagnant energy that is there, thought forms that have coagulated themselves and perhaps become a condition in your life. You get to speed up those thought forms and transmute them into a higher frequency. This is why you affirm the truth. This is why you affirmatively pray. This is why you meditate. This is why you do your yoga. This is why you chant. This is why you do all that you do. You see? So you can speed up those thought forms that have coagulated themselves into a condition, set them free. You don't even have to know where they came from. You don't have to know the genesis. You don't have to blame, in the old days, they used to blame the devil. Now people blame their parents. You don't have to know where it came from to transmute it. You understand what I'm saying? You can spend years trying to figure out where the thought came from, or you can transmute it. You see? You can say, well, who scuffed my shoe? Just wash the sucker off, okay? Who stepped on my, who did you, just, you understand what I'm saying? So, I want you to inhale right here, take a breath. Release. Inhale. Release. Inhale. Release. We're going to do a couple of things here. I want you to inhale. Suspend at the apex. Just spin the breath right there. And feel right this moment, feel right this instant that you are enough. That nothing outside of yourself is going to add to this feeling of enoughness, abundance, all needs met. Feel into that. Release. Again, in breathe. Suspend. Feel right now that life is for you. You're not working against life. You don't have to convince life to be on your side. Life wants to live through you. Feel what that feels like. Release. Breathe in again. Suspend it. Take a little bit more air in, please. Suspend it right there. And feel a level of joy. Notice that you can take your attention and be in the joy. Release. Now your nervous system is now acclimating itself around that dynamic. Now I want you to do is to close your eyes, and I want you to look at a condition in your life that has stagnated. Don't judge it. Don't try to figure out where it came from. You just know that there's been a level of stagnation there. Now, take a breath. Suspend the breath right there. Look at that area, but see the energy flowing. And whatever seems to be lacking, invite it to flow there. If it's love, if it's abundance, if it's health, vitality, just feel that and see it flowing in that area of your life. Release, sound of ah. Ah. Now, all of those who can, please rise. Now, come into the posture of confidence. You're going to, in a few moments, you're going to hear Lyra from South Africa sing, and she's the epitome of dynamic confidence as she's singing. Boy, she's something else. Now, back straight, erect, without being rigid. Be aware that you're giving a signal to the universe. You're confident. Life is for you. You don't want to walk into a room like, I hope they like me. Will you like me, please? No. You're just setting yourself up for whatever. It's confidence. And you're meeting the presence of God everywhere you go. There's a level of respect you have about life, about yourself. Feel that. Now put your hands up like this. And say with me, if you will, I am absolutely receptive to more good than I've ever imagined. Oh, you feel so good. You're saying it so powerfully. Repeat. Say this again. I am receptive to more good than I've ever imagined. I'm receptive to more good than I've ever experienced. I'm receptive to more good than I've ever manifested before. I am receptive to more good than anyone has ever manifested before. I am enough. Life is for me. I am ready to deliver my giftedness. To help change the world for the better. This is what I'm about. Somebody shout about it. Scream about it. Dance about it. Woo. Come on. Remember, you're celebrating. Somebody scream about it. Now